So it's time for Convos from the couch. You know it, Convos from the couch. Ooh, Convos from the couch. Maybe I should just stick to therapy, right? Because singing and dancing is not my thing, but I'm lively, and so I like to have a little bit there. But anyhow, it is me, Dr. P of Onyx Therapy Group, and I wanted to come in and do a second Convos from the couch. Woohoo! Right? Because normally I just do one a month, but I recently did one earlier about my social media break and recommitting to myself. And it's not what you think it is. So make sure you watch it. But there's also National Listening Day coming up, right? And I wanted to talk about it from my perspective as a therapist because there's three main ways that we can listen, I think, right? We listen as a sensory element, so the sense of hearing. And then there's the listening from the mind perspective in terms of how it invokes certain thoughts in our mind and certain connections, certain alignments to modes and schemas. For my therapists out there, knowing that Piaget, those terms from Piaget. And then there's that listening from the attachment perspective, that relational piece, right? And I think we all know the listening, the hearing from the sensory piece, right? That's just neurological, that's connected to our brains. That's a sense, a part of our body. And I think we all know the listening when it comes to the mind and how we hear words or phrases or we're reminded of things and it connects to memories and to thoughts and subsequently to actions that we may have. But also wanted to highlight the listening from the attachment perspective, listening and the power that it has in relationships. You know, there's lots of research out there about listening and the number of thoughts that we have and how quickly we move and how sometimes we're hearing what somebody is saying, we're listening to what someone is saying, and we're coming up with a thought real fast. But the person who's talking starts to feel our disconnect because our mind is racing. And so sometimes we forget to listen just to connect, to listen just to show presence, listen to be present with someone, listen to give attention, listen to validate with a head nod, listen for that undivided, non-distractive kind of experience. And so while we're quickly approaching listening day, I want to highlight the importance of spending time with someone and just listening. Not trying to come up with an answer, not trying to come up with a rebuttal, even when we're in situations where we're trying to be helpful and we want to immediately have something to say, or in situations where we're afraid of silence, so we just jump right in. But just listen to show someone that you care. Just listen to show someone that for just a few moments of the day, they have someone else's undivided attention and that they matter and that what they have to say matters and that the presence of them matters and that you can be with them in that moment and that matters. So the idea of listening as we slow down, the idea of listening as we make eye contact, the idea of listening as we connect with spirit, the spirit of who they are, the spirit of who we are, hearing beyond words, hearing beyond the nonverbal communication, hearing with our souls, listening with our souls, and listening to connect. You ever had an experience like that where someone is just giving you their undivided attention and they're not rushing you, and how good it feels, how validating it feels, how supportive it feels? So as we approach it, I want you to think about it. Who are you ready to listen to? And who do you want to listen to you? And can you take this National Day of listening and practice that? Not the sensory piece, not the thought piece, but just the attachment and connection piece through this simple act or complicated act of listening. Nonetheless, that's all I got for you today. So that was my Convos from the Couch, Dr. P of Onyx Therapy Group, and I hope to see you next month in December as we go through another Convos from the Couch. All right, Convos from the Couch. See you.